You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean. Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on the Powerhouse Radio station are those of the host, guests, and callers, are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. The show, found on the Powerhouse Radio station, can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or conditions. Opinions stated by various contributors to the Powerhouse Radio and its programming are not to be considered as endorsed by the Powerhouse Radio station. Visitors are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusion. We emphasize the importance of keeping an open mind. You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
Victorious 89.1 WAKP. Your unity in the community station.
Yeah. You listen to the sounds of DJ Fourth Quarter in your ear right now. If you're in your car, if you're at home, if you're on your phone, let's gripe, baby.
Driving home and you're feeling kind of tired. Hey, radio play the same thing every day, so you need a little switch in your life. Traffic got you jammed up every night. Tune in to Powerhouse. Wednesday 7 to 9, you need to check them out. I promise I ain't trying to hype, but one good listen tonight, it might change your life. So what's the name of the show? You need something to just ride to on the go, or you might be home, so log on. You can even dial in on your phone. I promise that you're gonna love it. Just try it one time, it'll blow your mind. Now I'ma say it just one more time. Every Wednesday from 7 to 9.
Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe.
Good evening, everyone. It's Wednesday, March 9th. You're tuned into the PowerhouseRadio.com 89.1 FM. Big up to Dr. J, Lady D. Hey guys, how you doing this evening?
Good evening, everybody. Happy Wednesday. How's everybody feeling tonight?
What up, world? How y'all doing?
Yo, so we went from spring to almost winter in a week. Is that what we're doing?
GA, baby.
I'm just saying.
I'm telling you, I got out there Saturday. It felt like it was summer, not even spring. It just felt like we went from winter to summer.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
And then I had to crunk the heat up last night. I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying that lightweight thunderstorm we had overnight. I mean, okay.
I like that now.
Now that I did enjoy. I did enjoy that. Yes.
Turn off the light. Hey.
Hey.
I'm just saying, when that rain and that little thunderstorm start kicking up, all you want to do is get under that covers and turn off the what? The lights. Don't have somebody beside you, honey, because you know what that means, right? But I'm just saying, we're here again. Guys, we say this every week. It's March 9th. I'm just saying.
I mean, if you made a list, you might want to start checking it off because this year is rolling. And in a few minutes, it's going to be April. And then, as soon as May gets here, it's June, July, August. And
wait a minute. Oh, no. Back up.
Are we skipping something?
When she start to jump over April like that, we got to come back.
Okay, bring it on back.
April, April, we're gonna have to let April ride. It's 30 days out, and I hope it goes slow.
Well, I hope that you find something you celebrate every day. Okay, I want you to do something every day that you enjoy for that whole month.
I'm just saying, we just gotta slow. Look, we're gonna take our time in the month of April. After that, he could do whatever we want to do. I talked to a girlfriend earlier. And she was like, I have not taken down my Christmas decoration. I said, you need to take them decorations down because in the next 2 weeks it's going to be Christmas again. Can you just act like you took it down? I'm just saying, y'all, that's how fast this year is going, guys. I mean, really and truly, like McKenna said, if you need to check that list and you need to start ticking off, because if you haven't started checking off, you better start checking off, because by the time you blink, it's going to be 2023. I'm just saying.
I mean, I literally made a list last week. I was like, things to do in 2022. And I made a list of about 11 things. And I was like, okay, I need to go ahead and start working on this list, because if I don't start, it's going to be over. And I'm going to be looking at this list in December like, you didn't go to and you didn't do. I don't want to be that person to myself, because I don't want to have to look McKenna in the mirror and say, well, you had a list. What happened? So I will not be griping to myself because I didn't complete my list of things to do.
Time waits on no one. But guys, you got any gripes? Because listen, we got to get into it. We got to get into it, because this is some things that we missed last week that we need to touch on, y'all. Any gripes? I ain't got no gripes.
I mean, the only gripe I have is that, gas is going to be $5. But other than that, I mean,
But but thank goodness for working from home. Yeah, I'm sorry for the ones who's essential workers that you got to go out. I'm sorry. But for the ones who work from home, I
mean, this tank of gas is going to last 2 weeks on purpose now, like intentionally.
On purpose.
On
purpose.
See,
even when gas was $2 a gallon, if I'm going to A, B, and C, they all in that same area. And then I started A, and when I get to Z, I'm back at home. See, I didn't go across town and then got to go to the other side. I never did that. But now,
it's real strategic out here of trafficking.
Yes.
Strategic.
Yes.
Like, do we need it today, or can I wait till Saturday when we get everything at the same time?
Exactly.
People are going to start cooking what's in the refrigerator and the freezer, whether they want it or not. Because making that extra trip to the store, you're going to think about that. Is it really worth it to go out and get when I could just use what I have? People are going to start making these decisions.
Well, Marcus, listen. Oh, I need some grocery. Instacart.
I do Amazon.
Amazon. We got the pickup where you pull up. I mean, it is what it is right now, guys.
Do we think these prices are going to go up just a little bit?
Oh yeah.
It's not going to stop, and of course we're going to get into it because of what's going on with Russia and Ukraine, want to call it. That's what's going on.
Yep.
This housing market, you see, it's high. You know what's going to happen, right? It's going to come falling down.
And people don't want to say it because I keep reading little things. Oh, I think it's going to be like this for the next 3 or 4 years, and then it'll come down. I'm like, 3 and 4 years? I don't see it stay. I don't see it maintaining this increase for another 3 to 4 years.
We wouldn't be able to survive, especially the middle class. Right now, the poor and the rich is okay, because the poor, they getting so much assistance from the government. They getting these, you have children in public school, you getting these EBT cards, okay? And then the rich people, they living off their little stocks and bonds and everything. So the middle class folks who's working and who was taking care of business, now, we kind of like, okay, yeah, I know I want that lobster, but we're going to have to go to the Dollar Tree and get that steak for $1.25. McKenna, you remember that dollar steak? Yes, and they added that 25 cents on the dollar store.
They did. Yes, they did.
So again, it's in, if you look at it, the writing is on the wall. Because after a while, no one is going to be able to sustain with this high gas prices, the food, and property tax, car insurance, just everything is going up. So
I mean, that's a good mention. I forgot about the property taxes, because as soon as your house is valued at 10 and 11 and 25 and $50,000 more, your property taxes are going to go up.
Exactly.
And some people can't afford the property taxes on their house. And then you have those people that are walking around looking for people who have not paid their property taxes so that they can acquire their property.
So in other words, I talked to a customer today, and this customer advised me. He says the US dollars you know, in other countries, because in Jamaica, for one, like one US is like at one time it was like $150 in Jamaica. And he was basically saying when this market crash, like the American dollar is going to be worth nothing around the country and around the world. And it's serious when you think about it. But then you see how they're talking about putting that block on that those currencies, Bitcoins and all that. Think about it. Why? Why are you so ready to block this? Because they know what's going on, y'all. You know, but we're not going to get into all of that. You know what I'm saying? But they know why they doing this. But, you know, our condolences to the family and friends in Ukraine right now. It's so many innocent people are dying. It's so many, and we got to acknowledge it. Try to kind of stay away from the sadness, but we have to acknowledge a lot of innocent people is dying because someone wants control. You know, so we just can keep them in our thoughts and our prayer. I know they call him there's a young lady on TikTok. She's an attorney, black young lady, but I like the way she do the commentary about what's going on so the young people could understand, because she called Putin Big P. I mean, she got the hook, but I'm telling you, when you listen to her, she was like, and you know, Big P was like, Little Joe, but now come over here. But I mean, when she explained it, you sit there, you be like, and I mean, even white folks is up there like, okay, now I get it. You know, I get it. I don't even get it from CNN. CNN don't break it down like that. So, but seriously, there are a lot of people out there, if you really listen to see what's going on, it does kind of make sense of what's going on. And it all goes back to when Biden got in office, and then when he stopped the oil, the Keystone and all that. Look where we at now. Almost $5 a gallon, like you said, McKenna.
Yeah, here we go again. But the good thing, I would say the good thing is we've been through this before. You know, we've been through high gas prices, high property taxes, short supplies. And so most people are resilient and they're still in survival mode because we're still on the end of the pandemic. And so most of us are like, okay, we'll just add this to the list of things we have to manage. Because at this point, if you don't know how to manage your $1.15, then you haven't learned anything over this past year and a half or 2 years. So, you know, whether you make $10 an hour or whether you make $75 an hour, you still have to manage it the same, because it's still going to go and it's only going to go so far. And then you really think about the things that you need versus the things that you want, and really orient. And then you teach the young people to do the same, to be thrifty and savvy with how they spend and appreciate the dollar, and teach them how difficult it is to come by this dollar and how fast it is to spend this dollar. So this will be another opportunity for, you know, anybody that has any influence on young people to really kind of sit down and say, there's a reason why I say don't be wasteful, because you never know when you're going to be in time of need. You know, there's a reason why we say stop being so wasteful, because you just never know. And so, I mean, even as American culture, we're a wasteful culture. I mean, we throw food away, we throw clothes away, we throw so many things away because we're just so quick to discard of things, but we don't really think, you know, I really could put this in the refrigerator and eat it tomorrow. I don't have to throw it away. You know, it's only been in the refrigerator 24 hours, so it's not bad. I can just, you know, either put it in the freezer and, you know, make a repurposed meal out of it. So I think it's just an opportunity for us to go back and have some gratitude, you know, thank God for what we have and how far he continues to protect us, and know that we'll make it through this as well. And so for people out there who are struggling, who are worried, who have a lot of anxiety about what, stay in the moment and don't worry too much, just pray and plan and prepare.
It's good advice.
Good advice. Well, that's very good advice. But so on that note, Marcus, we got some stuff going on in the news. We got some stuff in the sports. McKenna and Marcus, what's up with this trade with Russell Wilson?
Man, he's been trying to get out of Seattle for a minute. And so today they announced that he was getting traded to the Denver Broncos. I guess that's a good landing spot for them. They got a young team, young core of receivers. Defense is all right, but for Seattle, they saying the trash was trade. I mean, the trade was trash for Seattle because they didn't get many players back. They got their first round pick, which is 9th, but they say by the time the 9th pick come around, unless they got more capital, they're probably not going to get a franchise quarterback. So maybe they'll trade that into something, or probably that into something else. But it doesn't look good for Seattle unless they got it. I don't think they got a guy backing up that can do what Russ does. So it really looked like it was bad blood, though. I don't know how many people remember, but sometime last year, Russell was. It seems like he wanted a trade, but they were able to mend the fences for a little bit, for at least a season, and I guess they weren't able to mend the relationship, though. So, yeah.
I mean, there's so many moving pieces in this trade. It was really interesting because this weekend I watched some movie called Draft Day. And I think it's a couple of years old. I had never seen it. So I was watching it with a friend who was, explaining it to me play by play. But there's so many pieces that happen during these trades. Like, this team calls this person and this. So it was really interesting to kind of watch that. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch it, but it kind of really helped me understand what happens with, during this time of the season when players are moving around and how political it is and how, coaches and GMs and owners, sometimes aren't on the same page. And if the owner wants something and the GM wants something, the coach is kind of like, okay, well, y'all make the decision and I'm left with whatever you guys decide. So it's very political. There's a lot of moving pieces that we really just don't get to see. But it was a good movie and it kind of helped give me insight as to what happens behind the scenes.
And also that the young WNBA basketball player that got arrested in Russia with the vapes. Marcus?
Yeah, Brittany Griner. Reiner, I don't know. I don't know her how to pronounce her last name. But yeah, she got detained in Russia. I think it was either last week sometime. I think earlier last week sometime that she got detained. So they're saying now that they're using her as a political pawn, I guess, in whatever they have going on with the Ukraine and of course the United States. So I guess we got to stay tuned on that, though.
The only thing is that I was talking to a friend and I was just saying the only difference, she black. She black. I'm just saying. How much they willing to give up for her?
I guess I have to read about that because I'm not really sure about those charges. And is she just being detained? Did they take her passport? Does she have to go to court? Like what's going to happen?
She's arrested and they said if she's found guilty, she can get up to 10 years. Yes. So yeah, the United States and Russia, they are in top backseat. But once again, what are they really willing to give up for her? She's black.
Okay. Was she guilty of what she did, though?
They say, well, on her off time, she plays over in Russia on the team.
Yeah. I know that.
But remember, America gave these people sanctions, froze up their money, all this other stuff.
Yeah, but was she guilty of what she did, though?
Yeah. Was she guilty?
She's been going back and forth all the time. So you didn't know you couldn't take that in that country?
Well, times don't change.
I mean, that's just like saying if I flew from Atlanta to Seattle and I had some marijuana in my bag because I knew it was legal in Seattle and I went through TSA in Atlanta, I'm still going to get stopped and arrested. So I'm just wondering if she knew that she was breaking the law. Did she do it intentionally? And if she did, then it's not a good look to break the law over. And there's a whole show on that.
Right. There's too much going on.
It's called Locked Up Abroad. And I've watched it a couple times. And you don't want to go abroad playing around with their laws. Like you want to go over there and know. And usually if you're an athlete, you have like this whole orientation that you go through to prepare you so that you know what to do and what not to do. So that you don't come over here and get stuck. You don't go over there with a passport that's going to expire within 6 months. There are just things, there are protocols that you go through so that you know what you're not supposed to do. So on one hand, we have to kind of weigh it out and take some responsibility, you know, if we broke the law, and then, you know, see what their justice system looks like.
Yeah. I definitely think it's a wait and see kind of, if they
we
try
gotta
to
wait and see.
Yeah, just kind of see if like they trying to throw the whole full 10 years or something at her or whatnot. Or if it's one of those things where it's just like, well, you know, all right, we'll give you, you know, we'll let you go with a misdemeanor or whatever else going on. But one of the things that, as McKenna said, though, you have to be cognizant. And I believe the reason why she was leaving Russia because she knew what was the climate in Russia. So with knowing that, man, I don't want to leave with nothing but my clothes and that's it. I don't want no problems. No problems.
Zero. I'm not taking any beer. I'm not taking any. What are they on for vodka? None of that. Just listen.
So what? Now that you're saying that, and I'm thinking, was she set up? Maybe somebody slipped it in her bag.
It was hers. What nobody said. It
was a bag for medicinal and recreational purposes, right? I mean, we're just speculating.
But what I'm not understanding.
If anybody has any insight on this, please call us and let us know, because this is a good conversation. We want to know what's going on with this young lady. But I mean, I feel bad for her family, because really all she can do is sit and wait, and you know it's a wait game. I mean, you know how if things move slow over here, imagine how slow things move internationally. And there's no hurry. Like, it's just a vape charge. It's not like she killed it. Like, they're just going to sit on that for a little while. The State Department will call.
She black, y'all. Just say she black, too.
The State Department is going to call whoever they're going to call. They're going to file some legal documents. It's going to take 30 days to come back. Like, this is going to take a minute.
Well, you remember that young man in, was it one of those, Japan or one of those countries, came back half dead and then he died?
Oh yes, that was that China or?
Yeah, it was one of those countries, strict countries, like whatever he did. I'm just saying, besides the black countries, I know y'all can't go to these other countries doing stuff that you do in America. You just can't.
Exactly right. You got to know, man.
People need to you got to follow some rules and regulations, because you know some of these countries you can't even smoke. Some of these countries you can't even be on the phone in the streets. So you got to learn these laws if you're gonna go overseas and play sports or live or whatever. You got to learn the laws, because I think some people think America is like the country, but
Speaking of people getting handcuffed and arrested, can we talk about your boy, Mr. Black Panther director?
Yeah.
What, being rich while black? Is that what we're gonna call it? Being rich while black?
I don't know about this.
Banking while black.
Oh, no. I don't know about this, y'all. Have y'all read the story?
I've read
it.
Tell us,
right?
Was he?
He was at the bank, right?
But was he the director for what?
Black Panther.
Black Panther. So he got money. He got bank, right?
He does.
So he went. Okay, go ahead and tell us the story. Let me see if I read it the right way.
So you know how I watch a lot of movies, right? So you know how back in the day, you know, sometimes when they want to keep stuff quiet, bank robbers, what they do is they would write it on the note. You know, you being stuck up, give me such and such money. So apparently, Mr. Kugler said he gonna take a withdrawal slip and not gonna fill it out like regular people. He gonna write on the back of it, I need to withdraw $12,000.
Why black?
It doesn't matter. I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. I think anytime you just write on there, you have a withdrawal slip. If I'm a bank teller, I'm looking at people like, what's going on here? Because on your withdrawal slip, they have places in there for how much you want to withdraw, your account number, and all that other good stuff.
And wait. And your name and your signature.
Exactly.
And you slide that with your ID.
Exactly.
Okay. Now I'm understanding a little bit better.
So are you saying he did okay.
He didn't do that.
So all he did was slide that with a personal note, and the teller pushed the button.
Okay, then he deserved to get detained. He deserved to get the 10, y'all. I'm
got
sorry.
a little nervous. She got nervous and she pushed the button. She didn't think to ask for the ID or, can I have your account? She just pushed the button.
All right. Yeah.
She watched Money Heist and she watched Set It Off and she, okay.
Because you know that's their biggest fear. You know it is.
So you mean to tell me not only that you black, you got a little bit of twist, like like dreads in the top of your head. You go in a bank and write on the back, you need to withdraw $12,000. Didn't fill it out properly. It didn't hand them your ID or nothing. And okay,
maybe he had been vaping.
Maybe
and he wasn't thinking clearly.
They said his attire was he was in a baseball cap, sunshades on, and he had on a mask.
All right, okay. And in the next news, did y'all hear about 50 Cent went to Monique's show?
Tonya said I'm done with that. She was like,
we can't even do it no more. I can't even play the black card anymore, y'all.
You can't.
I can't play the race card anymore. So for all the white people who's listening and watching, I apologize. This had nothing to do with color. This had to do with stupidity. As Jamaicans would say, I idiot. Okay, guys, I'm just saying.
but he said at the end, Bank of America was very accommodating. Once they got everything figured out, they figured out he didn't slide him a note to rob the bank.
All right, Marcus. Okay, it's three of us. Which one of us is not me because I have a special something next month? But which one of you or McKenna is going to go to the bank on April 1st and hand them a note to do a withdrawal?
No.
Don't put us in this. Don't put this in this. Absolutely. I don't even like to play with handcuffs. No.
I even believe that Denzel Washington, Tyler Perry, even down to Snoop Doggy Dogg, they would have not done that.
No. Again, listen. When you put things in context, he could have handled that a different way. I mean, I'm just saying, we've been trained up since we were little. When you go into the bank, you stand at the counter. You get mad when there are no deposit slips or there's no pin. So now you got to find your own pin, right? Because they used to have pins and candy right there. And then all of a sudden you don't have suckers up there anymore. You don't have any pins. So you need your own pin. They used to have different color coded bank slips. Now they all look the same. So you have to go up there and you fill it out. You have your little bank card with your bank number on it. But he didn't do any of that. He just said, this is what I need.
Okay. All right.
Let me tell you who he was. He was a customer who didn't have his account number. He didn't know what that was at the time. He didn't have his little card with his account number on it. So he just wrote what he needed. And he was probably used to his personal assistant. With everything else that he needed. So he just walked up there like, this is what I need. And then you're going to figure out the rest of it. So he was probably expecting them to say, okay, well, what's your name? What's your account number? And he was going to say, I don't know. Okay, well, do you have your ID? He probably was expecting this type of reaction, not the clank clank.
No, I think he probably just wanted it to become news, and so we can know who he was and what movie he produced. I think he just wanted some kind of attention because that's in no one's right mind can think that way. Because when I used to walk into the bank without the deposit slip, all I had to do was give them my ID, my debit card, and they ask you how much you want. You sign that keypad verified, and you take out your gazillions of dollars. So that right there was foolishry. So again, I apologize on 89.1 for playing the race card. I did. I played it for no reason. That's my bad. I am so sorry. I apologize. It has nothing to do with the powerhouseradio.com or 89.1 for playing the race card. Okay. We got a shout out to Madonna. Hey, we got a shout out to Kim. Hey,
what up?
Hey guys. So listen, please like and share. Subscribe to the powerhouseradio.com. It is 7:29. We're going to do a station break for our 89.1 FM listeners. And let's see if the studio is ready for the little shout outs, our little commercial break.
We'll be right back. After these important messages from, y'all remember that, right?
Yes, you did it good too as well. Maybe the studio is not ready. Maybe she'll give us a cue when they're ready. But also, what I was going to say, 50 Cent, he said that he went to the Monique show over the weekend. And he was like, man, she deserved her flowers. He was like, he had a great time. He was like very impressed with her show. What you guys think about that?
Okay, so she has a show?
Well, she's still doing her stand-ups. She does her stand-ups.
Okay. So the snippet that I read was basically he was saying, he was trying to remember, like, why did we cancel her? And we should only cancel people who are not good for the culture, I think is what his comments were. And it sounded like he was going to give her an opportunity to maybe act in one of he's got a couple of series out there on Stars. So it'll be interesting to say. He was basically like, let's uncancel Monique. Anybody want to support with the uncancel Monique momentum or movement? And she's been doing a couple of interviews. I've seen her doing a couple of interviews lately. So she is trying to, I don't want to say stay relevant or become relevant, but I think she's still trying to make a living and, let people know that she didn't do anything wrong. She basically said, I don't want to go out here and market this movie for free. That's not part of my contract. And, according to what she said was that she got blackballed because she's the angry Black woman, or, she's not willing to be a team player. And she was just saying that this is the amount that she paid me, which I think was $50,000. And me going out here promoting this movie for free is not part of my contract. I'll be happy to promote it if you pay me. And as a result of that and some other conversations, it sounded like this is what started this movement where, nobody was answering her phone or taking her seriously to go back out in Hollywood and make movies.
Well, what happened is I believe there's time, because at that time she was on top. She had the Parkers. She was doing these queens of comedy. She was on top. But sometime, what I always say with people, sometime we gotta do something for little and nothing. And when I say that, meaning that even Mary J. Blige, she said that she wasn't getting paid to do the Super Bowl half hour. But she was like, I'm okay with that. First, they was like, what do you mean? But she was like, you know what? I'm okay with that because there's going to be bigger things that's going to come. So I believe that Monique could have, if they was only going to give her 20 cents, I believe that she could have. The movie made a lot of money, but it would have took her a lot of places. And besides getting blackballed, she blackballed herself because you didn't have to do all of that. Then when, no one was calling her, because you got to think about it. That's that ego. You're not humble. We friends. And I'm like, hey, can you come sing at my wedding? Call your manager. What you mean call your manager? We girls. You mean to tell me that you can't just come and sing a line or two for me? So I believe.
So on the other end, on the other side of that, if that had been a Jennifer Anderson or somebody, would this expectation be the same? That, okay, Jen, you go out there and promote this movie for free. Or is the expectation because, okay, this is Monique. Girl, go ahead out here and promote this and go to Europe and go here to promote this. I'm just wondering, as part of the conversation, do we treat the Moniques differently than we would treat maybe, and I'm just using Jennifer Aniston because that's her name that, that came in my mind. And does it come a point when you just ask to be respected like you respect other people in Hollywood?
Well, no, we can't. Go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead.
I think the bigger, I think where you separate those things is that the people that asked her to do this and the people that are considering blackball aren't the same people that hired Jennifer Aniston.
Thank you. That's exact, Marcus. You said it. Hit it on. That is it, McKenna.
So it's kind of hard to compare, but
can't.
I'm just
because their budget, because they're on budget. Like some of these movies that they have, because I think even with Black Panther, they had a budget as well, and it was like they was even going over the budget, but the movie made back the money and more because of the gross, the money that it brought in. So yeah. it was black. It was remember these black producers, writers, directors, they don't have half this money that Steven Spielberg's had, and what's his name, Aaron Spelling. They don't have that kind of money. So I'm just saying. It's now, go ahead, Marcus.
Well, not even that, but it's your movie. It's not like it's somebody else's movie that they're asking you to promote. It's your movie. You're starring in this movie. So if people come out to the box office or whatever else, it's still a credit to you. You know what I mean? Like, now I get it. Like, if you didn't want to go all the way out and just, spend money to go here or there and do all this other stuff, go on a world tour. But if you're doing interviews and something, you'll say, hey, look, I'm in this movie. Y'all go check it out. Blase, blase. Now, I understand that. Or, the world of social media. Hey, look, I got this movie coming out. Y'all go check that out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they, so I'm sure people are getting paid to do those things, but it wouldn't, just me personally, I guess I'm not an actor. I'm not in that world, but like, if I got a movie coming out, I want people to go see it regardless. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And just like what we do every week. While we're on the show, I'm texting my friends, my family, sending them the link to the radio station, to the powerhouseradio.com, to YouTube. So I'm sending it out regardless of what, because guess what? I'm promoting what? Me, us. So sometimes we gotta, and then if you're not bringing it, you're only bringing in $10 a month. But the more viewers and listeners, ratings you get, it's gonna go from $10 to $100.
So do you think that Hollywood is ready to unblackball her? And do you think the people who blackballed her are willing to unblackball her?
I think they've forgiven her. She was just running her mouth a little bit for a long time, but someone came out and just told her to let it go.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you got to do. Like, I think this whole thing about blackballing only comes to a head when other producers, like a 50 Cent, if they produce you in something and people don't go see it or don't watch it because of you, I can only consider that really kind of blackballing, because there are other producers, other avenues outside of the Tyler Perrys and all of those people. There are other people that are doing things. You know what I mean? So, I just say, like, because I watched her interviews and it really, I didn't know she was canceled necessarily. I mean, she's been not in the good graces or favor of the Oprah Winfrey Zone. So that's a little bit older. But I think her career took a little bit of a turn when she went on this media blitz about Netflix. You know what I mean? Like, she was like, oh, let's boycott Netflix because they only offered me $500,000 to do this special or something like that. So I think when she went on that thing and she was talking about, other people was kind of like, hold up now, Monique, now. Hold up now. So I think she her and her husband, and they was doing this thing that people didn't really like. They were, he was speaking up for something for her, and kind of was like, yeah, people was kind of like, sit down and be quiet, let her talk.
I think he changed her. I think he had a lot to do with her career. I think he did.
Yeah,
because at this time he started to manage her, and then their husband and wife, and everything about her changed. Even like women who was like, oh my goodness, this woman makes me feel good being a plus size. She's inspired me to, instead of me wearing some sweats, I could wear some cute little spandex or a nice dress and, put on some little heels. So she went from all of that to, oh, I'm gonna get from the fat, fat woman, and we hate you skinny, blah, blah, blah. So she went to, I want to be skinny now too. So all of those at one time just came in like, oh, she started dropping the weight. Husband had a whole lot to say about this and that. And then, with the movie, and she's like, yeah, they want me to do it for free and da-da-da-da. So all of that came into one, and it was like, okay, we cancel you. We over you now.
Yep. I mean, I like I said, I didn't know she was canceled per se.
You didn't know she was canceled until the next week. Oh yeah, she was canceled. Are we ready for her? I'm willing to see what she got. I'm willing to see what she coming with.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any. I mean, it's been 10 years, maybe. I don't even know how long it's been, but she can still act and do stand-up comedy. I'd watch her on Netflix. Let's see what 50's going to do with her. I mean,
let's see what he's gonna do with her. He might give her a little. He might give her a little, a little show. Hey, cuz, how you doing? But he might give her a little, a stand-up special or something like that. Who knows?
Who knows? Because 50, he's also very creative. We don't talk about all the like his filmography. He's got a whole page of things that he's been in, movies that he's been in, movies that he's produced. He just broke up with Stars, I think. Recently.
Yeah, they did. Yes, they did.
I think he broke up. I think he quit Stars now, and so he's looking for another home to take his Power and Power Book 2 and his MGF, MFG. What's that other show that he has?
I'm not sure which one.
Something Mafia something, but I don't watch it. But so it'll be interesting to see where 50 goes with all of his writings and his scripts and what network he lands on, because he recently said that he was quitting Stars, and I was like, okay, well, we'll see what happens.
Stars gonna beg him back. You know why? Because he all those subscribers is gonna be leaving once he leave. All right, so we're gonna go ahead to our little station break. It's now 7:41 at the powerhouseradio.com and 89.1 FM, Dr. J Victorious Radio. Take it out, lady.
Tuned to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
Victorious 89.1.
Run by Kia full range of products embodies fundamental nutrients necessary to maintain beautiful and healthy hair care without having to combine an assortment of hair care products. The One by One Kia products are designed to rejuvenate, moisturize, create shine, fortify, and stimulate hair growth while leaving your hair feeling weightless and luxurious. Be sure to visit our website at www.onebywAnkaya.com and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at One by One Kia. Let's get your healthy hair care journey started today. The Hinkson Firm's mission is to provide superior legal service in the areas of family law, child welfare law, general legal services, and mediation by keeping convenience of the clients at the forefront. The Hinkson Firm's goal is to eliminate the stress of an already intense situation in your life by coming directly to your workplace and or a location close to your home for consultation, meetings, and mediation. The Hinkson Firm customized legal attention based on the needs of each client while treating every client with the dignity and respect they deserve, while fighting strongly and fiercely for justice and their legal rights. The Hinkson Firm can be reached at 470-499-4704.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
Victorious 89.1 WAKP. Your unity in the community station.
We're back. All right. So all in favor for uncanceling Monique?
I mean, I'm fine with it. I didn't watch the Parkers, but it wasn't because of Monique. I just wasn't a big sitcom fan, so I don't have a problem with her being. There's so many media platforms between Hulu and Netflix and Amazon Prime and Apple Plus TV and Paramount Plus, and there's got to be something that she can act in and make some money. I'm just saying, there's so much media out there and so many platforms and so many places that you can make TV these days. There's room and space out there for everybody, whether you like comedy or westerns or sci-fi or the Marvel universe or sports. There's plenty of media out there and plenty of platforms for actors and actresses. So there's no reason why she shouldn't be on TV doing something that she enjoys.
Exactly.
Well, we're going to shift it on from there to, okay, so anyone that knows me knows that I am not comfortable with Uber, Lyft, or Airbnbs. How about over the weekend, there was a man in Texas. He hosts an Airbnb. He had cameras in these rooms secretly filming the guests having sex, being naked. Over 2,000 photos, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm never going to get comfortable
I
with
mean,
Airbnbs. I just don't know. Oh, really?
it's just the kind of society that we live in, whether it's the Airbnb or whether it's the hotel room because the maid planted the camera. I mean, this is just the culture that we live in. You know, whether you're, in the bathroom at the public restaurant or restroom. I mean, we've seen this on Law and Order SVU over the last 20 years. I mean, this is not anything new. It's just that we have more access to it because, these are stories that actually get publicized. This happens at high schools. It happens in colleges where, they have these parties and people are taking pictures and there's a whole store where you can buy spy cam and, you can put cameras and buttons and even like the nanny cams, they were talking about, we've had these stories where, you hire the babysitter and you have the teddy bear that has the camera in it, or you have, the picture hanging on the wall that actually has a secret camera in it so you can see what's going on in your house. So it's disturbing. And I would be floored if that were me, but am I surprised? Nah, I'm not surprised.
Not surprised, but it's just, that's why I'm never comfortable with doing Airbnbs. Never stayed in one.
I have before.
Me too.
Yes,
I have time with it.
Yeah, it was fine. I think.
Have you tried searching for cameras? I'm gonna invent something for that camera, hidden camera detectors.
I'm sure they have that. All we have to do, ask Siri or Google. They'll let you know what to look for at the Airbnb. I'm just saying, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's one of the things that made people, people who have that fear would have to do, bring, whether it's audio devices, scanning for audio devices and or cameras, bring those with you if you plan on going to stay at an Airbnb. Mm-hmm. I would worry more about not being clean than cameras going to an Airbnb and stuff like that. I worry more about that.
Yeah. I would say that all the Airbnbs that I've ever been in were very clean. And so, but of course, you during COVID, you bring your own cleaning supplies. So my aunt was like, yeah, it looks nice in here, but one moment. So, she wiped everything down. We had our Lysol, we sprayed everything down. But when we walked in, they had the flyer on the table that said that they use the spray, the bombers that they use now due to COVID. And so, I think Airbnb was very interested in making sure that they use high quality cleaning products because they wanted to attract people to come, in their property. So it does them a disservice if they walk into your property and it's not clean, because we're in this review community where people are going to leave a post and they're going to leave a review. And if they're not satisfied, they're going to post it and other people are going to know. So I will say that I've had good experiences with Airbnb for cleanliness. And, it's just like anything else. Like you look at a hotel online and you think it's great and you get there, and even though it's a Hilton property that you've been to, over the last 20 years, you might find that one property that doesn't live up to the expectations. So, it's, again, you plan, you prepare, you pray, and you keep it moving.
Okay. All right. Well, I have my favorite hotel, so I'm going to stay with that for a minute. But listen, also, the Supreme Court decided not to review the decision that made Bill Cosby a free man. So, other people was trying to get it reviewed and overturned. They turned it down. What you think about that, guys?
I mean, it's the law. I mean, from my understanding of the situation is that everything was based on an interview that he did. A lot of the evidence was based on the interview that he did, for which he was already granted immunity while doing that interview from the district attorney. And from my understanding, the incoming district attorney tried to overturn that, which illegally you can't do. So that was the situation in which he went to prison in the first place. And so once they took a look back at it, they would say, well, no, you can't just come in here and overturn what he's gotten written down, legally. So, I'm sure there are people out there and probably going to say, well, he did do the things that he said he did. However, by the letters of the law, those things cannot be permitted and he can be locked up for it. So the Supreme Court upholding the law.
I mean, I could see them not wanting to get into that and set a precedent that violates the law, because think about all the cases and people that would file appeals, in order to have their sentence commuted, because of the same practice. So they did it, and they looked at it through the correct lens and said, I'm not saying he's not guilty. I'm just saying that the way the case was brought about didn't follow the rules. And because that one person had him sign, and he, interviewed under the pretense that you can't hold this against me. And then somebody later comes back and says, I'm going to hold this against you. That's not how Law and Order is supposed to work. So,
right.
Because we've seen the show, like we've seen it, we watched it. So this is why.
So I guess we could tell that McKenna loved Law and Order, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you done told just that.
And they brought it back just for me, right? Like literally.
Just for McKenna. It was because of McKenna. That's why I came back. All right. So also, Deion Sanders. So he has a documentary coming out. So he had to get foot surgery, and he ended up getting few of his toes, or two of his toes, amputated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched a little bit of it. I watched the documentary. I'm a big fan of Deion and what he's doing at Jackson State for HBCU football in general. Big fan of what he's doing. I watch a little bit of stuff on YouTube and stuff, man. He's a pretty dope teacher, coach. And I know, I don't know how you feel, but I know that was probably, upsetting and disturbing from what I saw too, because Deion Sanders is known one of the fastest men ever in the NFL. That's what he's known for, being that guy.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So Deion is an athlete. And just imagine, that was your claim to fame for the most part, right? And all of a sudden, that's really pretty much taken away from you. And from my understanding, they caught it in time to the point where he only lost a couple of toes as opposed to his leg. Wow. Yeah, it was pretty serious. It was pretty serious for him. So, it's definitely a big shock to him. And from one of the things that I appreciated about Deion, man, he stayed prayed up. He definitely thanked God for even being able to get up and do the things that he did. He may not be able to do it the same as far as, physically being able to, do those things the same, but he's still able to get up and do the things that he loves. So that was real good to hear, real reassuring though. But I couldn't even imagine, for we take for granted the normality of us just getting up and being able to do the things that we do every day. And, for people that have not only, or limbs or digits or toes or whatever, but, to lose function of something that you have had your whole entire life, it's definitely challenging and a big adjustment.
Yes, when I saw the documentary, I just saw just a few lines of it when they were promoting it. I was like, wow. And to even be transparent as far as sharing your story, and it takes a lot, and it does help people in the future when it comes to things like that. McKenna, you was going to say something?
I was just going to say, I was agreeing with Marcus that, he's bringing so much exposure, to the Black HBCU athletes, especially football, but it's reaching over across the basketball. And I'm sure that, in a few years, it'll reach across to the other sports as well. And the momentum is, infectious because it's Deion, and people love, Deion, and they remember Deion, and Deion has been, working with youth for, lots of years, and he's had his own camps and academies and things that he's done. So I think that, it was a good time for all of this to happen. And then also, just like you said, just that vulnerability about being able to share, how you are managing, with the loss of something, because, anytime you lose part of your body, it affects you, but like you said, he's prayed up, he's humble, and it's just a testimony to other people that have, I remember my great grandmother, when I met her, because I was a little girl, she had they had to amputate part of her leg. And so I think I've shared this before. So I remember as a young girl, she would like, bring Granny her leg. So I bring her artificial leg, and she would put her stump, we put it on, and I get the little shoehorn and put the shoehorn on it, and she had like a little special sock that she put over her nub. But my grandmother said that when she first had it happen, she was very bitter and she was very angry. But after a while, she just adjusted, and she, learned how to walk on it, and, was still able to get around. And, back then, they even had to dye her skin color because she was a darker woman. So they were like, nah, it's too light. We got to take this back. So they colored it to match her skin tone. But it's just that, if we are resilient, if we have our faith, we can spring back from whatever it is. And yes, we're human. So we're going to feel how we feel, but, I say feelings are facts. So feel what you feel, and then let's move towards those facts. Like, I can still have a productive life. I can still inspire other people. I can still be good at my craft. And I'm still going to be prime time. That's who Dion is. So he's still prime time. We got you, Dion. So.
Well, we do wish him a full recovery, and he do his thing down there in Jackson and his this coaching career, and continue to build his legacy. So we got to give that.
Oh, so speaking of primetime and jokes, did you guys hear that Kevin Hart and Chris Rock are going to go on tour together?
No.
So I read a small little article. I didn't read all of it, but apparently Kevin Hart was getting ready to go back on tour, and I want to say Chris Rock found out that he was going on tour, and they, have a lot of mutual respect for each other. And they said, well, why don't we do it together? We've never been on tour at the same time. So I guess they're celebrating like 20 years of friendship or 20 years in the business. And I said, you know what? That's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing right there. That's going to bring, both sets of fans just to see the show, because we know it has to be. I mean, Chris Rock and Kevin Hart, it's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy.
It's going to be crazy. So now that's going to, and you know what it's going to do? Somebody else is going to want to pair up and do some comedy just because they're doing it. So I think whenever it happens, where their tour is going to be, I think they're going to get, a wonderful reception, and maybe it'll make it to Netflix so we can watch it on TV.
Well, or just go to the show, because guess what? They outside. I went out on Saturday. And I mean, I'm telling you, it was like, what COVID? What pandemic? Of course, I'm still rocking my mask. I'm going to be rocking it for a minute. But it was amazing because you almost forgot that we were in a pandemic. And I was like, wow, beautiful weather. I mean, I'll tell you the truth, no lie. If I didn't remember that there was a pandemic, I would have took off my mask like, yes, we're free. But because my mind frame is here and it is not going anywhere right now, it's one of those things. But every turn I turn, it's like I barely saw anyone with a mask. And everyone was just out. They were out, and it's not a holiday. It's not anyone out there shopping for Christmas or
It
Easter.
was beautiful outside.
Yes,
it was beautiful. I mean, I was out. I went to Papados this weekend, and it was just, and the line was, I mean, it was an hour away to Papados. I was like, what? I didn't think anybody was going to be out. And I said, yes, I did. I'm playing.
So you went to Papados and you was watching a football movie, you said?
I did say that, didn't I?
You did say that.
You know McKenna. You listen, I gotta give it to McKenna. With the pandemic going on, she doing what she doing, being safe and everything. But yeah, she still gets to mingle. I'm creeping out there. Marcus, what about you? How you been doing?
Yeah, I don't think you understood what I was saying right now.
She didn't get it.
Y'all shoot up. Okay, so y'all just decided to shoot it over my head. Okay, I'll be the slow one tonight.
It's 8:00. Yep. We really.
I'm gonna get you, Marcus. I'm gonna get you in McKenna. Okay, y'all just want to shoot it over my head. Okay. But guys, like, share, tell your friends about Let's Gripe. We just gripe it up. We have our opinions. You know what I'm saying? That's all we do. We are not reporting the news. We ain't conservative. We ain't the bad ones. We just Let's Gripe. We just talk about it. So please like, share, and subscribe. Tune in every Wednesday. Of course, we have a list of shows at thepowerhouseradio.com. powerhouseradio.com. 89.1. We on the radio. Tell your friends, Victorious Radio. Come on now, y'all. Black owned. Okay. Keep supporting us. We thank you so much for tuning in at the powerhouseradio.com. Let's Gripe every Wednesday, 7 to 8. My name is TONIA. We're tuning out. We see you next week.
I'm McKenna. Everybody have a great week.
This is MG. Y'all enjoy life.
Have a good night.
Yeah. You listen to the sounds of DJ Fourth Quarter in your ear right now. If you're in your car, if you're at home, if you're on your phone, let's gripe, baby.
Driving home and you're feeling kinda tired. Hey, radio play the same thing every day. So you need a little switch in your life. Traffic got you jammed up every night. Tune in to Powerhouse. Wednesday, 7 to 9, you need to check them out. I promise I ain't trying to hype, but one good listen tonight, it might change your life. So what's the name of the show? When you need something to just ride to on the go. Or you might be home, so log on. You can even dial in on your phone. I promise that you're gonna love it. Just try it one time, it'll blow your mind. Now I'ma say it just one more time. Every Wednesday from 7 to 9. Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
Let's gripe.